Good morning and welcome to FlossTube number 15. My name is Christine. I am on Instagram as CMD586. That's Cat Mother Dog 586. Let's just get started. I wanted to do some shout outs today. I discovered, well, new to me, I discovered 3 new FlossTubers to me. One of them is brand spanking new to FlossTube in general. Her name is Lea Noel, Leahnoel. She just has a couple of like introductory videos out, and you should go check her out. I really enjoyed her first videos. Leahnoel all run together, and I specify that because I was watching her on my television. I often watch FlossTube on the Roku, and when I went to search for her to subscribe to her, like on my app on my phone, which I find is the easiest way to subscribe to her, when I looked for Lea Noel in all sorts of iterations, I couldn't find her. So I finally had to go and look and see, okay, it's all one word, and Noel is N-O-E-L, not any of the other ways you can imagine to spell it. So I'll try to put a link down below, though. I'm not very good at that, but I will. I'll try to make the effort to do that. Another one, new to me, and I've only watched her very latest video, and I heard several shout outs to her, and so I finally had to go watch her. Is Gulf Coast Stitcher, I believe, is her channel name, and I watched her and her beautiful daughter's latest video, and very much enjoyed it. And Bendy Stitchy and several other people have shouted her out recently, and so go watch her. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the rest of her videos because I only caught the latest one. And then a really big shout out. So it's been a month since I last recorded a video, and mostly that's because of like life things and nothing to do with anything any of you care about. You know, just sometimes life gets in the way, and and you can't do one extra thing. But part of the reason I have waited so long to do a video is because there's been just we talk a lot about how how wonderful this community is, and we've all made some really great friends, and there are wonderful, many wonderful people in both the FlossTube and the stitching community in general. But like any real big community, sorry, I'm trying to watch my language. Like any real big community, there's always going to be some jerks, to put it mildly. And lately it seems like they've been coming out of the woodwork. There have been issues on Stitch Mania. One of my favorite FlossTubers ever, Andrea Stitches in Colorado. If you are not aware, she recently, a few weeks ago, made all of her previous videos private because somebody finally crossed the line with her. I mean, I think she's taken quite more than her fair share of crap from people for expressing herself on FlossTube and Stitch Mania and Facebook, etc. in general. And somebody finally went over the line, and it wasn't just a miscellaneous, YouTuber troll. This is a person from the stitching community, somebody who interacts with a lot of people, and so this is one of our people who basically attacked Andrea and her children, her small children, that she dares to talk about here and there. you know, that was finally too much, which, you know, you can't blame her at all. I have a 17-year-old, you know, it's too late for him. He's almost all grown up, but if he was a little child, you know, I'd be probably a lot more quick to take a break from this community if I was felt that he was being attacked or like hurt through me because people didn't like me and my presence on the internet. That's just anyway, a couple of weeks ago when I saw her video explaining why she had made all of her videos private and that she was taking a step back from FlossTube, possibly permanently, every time I thought about making my own video, I could only really think about ranting, and I was sad and angry, and you know, I didn't really want to bring that here for the most part. Although I think it is, you know, good to talk about this stuff. I mean, I think we as a community that those of us reasonable and respectful and kind people have to we have to not accept the few jerks among us. Obviously, people have the right to say all sorts of things, but just because you have the right to say something, that doesn't make you not a bad person if you say it. Having the right to do something and it being right for you to do it are completely different things, and some people clearly don't get that. Anyway, all of this is leading up to the third shout out I want to give is to Stitch All the Things, who I just discovered. She's made like 17 videos, but she's still relatively new to FlossTube. She's just making a lot more videos more frequently than some of us, well, than me at least. And I stumbled upon her. I can't watch everybody. I want to watch everybody. You know, I'm pretty accepting of people in general and their differences, and like, I don't care if you ramble, I don't care if you show your body parts, I don't care if you cuss, I don't care if you have screaming kids in the background, I don't care if you stitch things I'm not interested in stitching. You know, like, I'm happy to watch almost anybody, but there's too many of us, so and now we have to get to where we pick and choose. But I've been feeling like, gosh, you know, there's all these people that are being shouted out, and I'm not watching everybody that I feel I should, and, you know, I want to support everybody, and there just aren't enough hours in the day. Yesterday, like, I played some video on purpose, and then I just kind of let things play, and like just kind of let YouTube pick for me what to watch next. And in so doing, I stumbled across Lea Noel, but I also stumbled across somebody who I actually have been intending to watch her for a while because I've heard other people shout her out, but just, you know, again, haven't got around to it. Stitch All the Things. And my big plan for today is to because I've watched her latest video, and then I watched her video number 8, which is another thing I want to talk about. But I watched her latest video, and my big plan for today, other than going out to lunch with my husband and other than cleaning the fridge, well, while I'm cleaning the fridge, is to binge watch all of Stitch All the Things, because she and I would either be great friends or hate each other. You know how, like, sometimes when somebody is too much like you know, you conflict. I feel like we'd be great friends, though. I watched her latest video, and as soon as she started talking, I was like, this woman's for me. Like, I love her attitude. If you're not watching her yet, and you should go watch her. She has a great attitude, and she's one of these people that just clearly, you know, says whatever whatever she wants to say, which while still trying to be kind and respectful, which is you know, what I strive for. But I was looking at her videos this morning, and you know, trying to go back to find number 1 and see how long she'd been on FlossTube and stuff like that, preparing to do this shout out. And I saw her video number 8, and it was called, the title of it was something like in Garrett in Garrett and Katie's house, otherwise known as Carrot. Garrett and Katie's house. And I figured it must be something about Stitch Mania, and it looked like it might be kind of a rant, and so I figured I better watch it. And if she kind of eased my need to rant, because I watched her rant and I'm like, yeah, you know what she said. So instead of me ranting on and on about how people need to behave themselves in Stitch Mania, and really in our community at large on FlossTube and any of the other groups, go watch her FlossTube video number 8, where she talks about how we are in Stitch Mania, we are in Katie and Garrett's house, and that we need to behave ourselves according to their rules, not according to what we think the rules ought to be, or that Katie and Garrett might just kick us all out, and they'd be perfectly justified in doing so. Anyway, Stitch all the things. I'll try to link her down below too. I'm gonna binge watch her today because I watched her latest video and number 8 only, and I'm kind of in love. I just really adore her, so I'm very much looking forward to watching all of her videos today. Hopefully today. I think it's several hours worth, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so enough about that. So stuff I got. I didn't get much because I'm being good. It's hard for me to believe, but I think it's true. Even though it's been a month since I've spoken to you, the only things I have purchased have been just my gas threads from Trisha, which is a subscription. It doesn't, well, it comes out of my budget, but you know, I'm not counting it. It's not an issue of self-control. My gas threads from Trisha. And then I didn't purchase anything else. I have something else big to show that I got, but it was a gift. It was a giveaway. So I will show that. I'll show that next. But we'll start with the gas threads. And I thought I loved the gas threads last time, and I love them this time. We are now in near the end of the bees. Oh, I guess it's all bees. I thought we'd gone into the C's, but nope. We are still in the bees, probably right at the end of the bees. And look at this combination of colors. I don't know if you can see them all, but I'm going to show them to you individually, so if you're not. Oh. Okay, Briar Rose. Burlap. It's pretty aptly named, I think. That's a good color. I mean, it's a good name for that color. It's a good color, too. Brown Bear. Blueberry. Bluebell. Nice icy blue. Brandy. That's a nice one. And then these 4 that I've saved for last are my favorites of the group. Burnt orange. Look at that. That is really beautiful. Butter crunch. Love that. And you know, pinks are generally not my thing, but this is this is good, great variegated pink. It's bubblegum. And then this is one that's already been one of my favorites. I've used this on my Red Riding Hood, my Primitive Hair. This is Buckeye Scarlet. This is used on Red Riding Hood by Primitive Hair to make her dress. I love that red. That is a great red. And I'm happy to have more of it. Okay, so those are the latest threads from Trisha at 3 Owl Threads. If I get really good about linking down below, I might link to her pre-sale group too. She's great, and it's if you're looking for she's got a couple of different thread like stash building type auto ship things you can join, and that's the gas 10-yard skeins that I pay $33 a month for 10 of them, which I think is an okay price. And then she's got the smaller gas threads. What are they? 5.5-yard skeins, whatever they are, the regular ones. And then I think the other thing that she does is Weeks Dye Works. I could be wrong, but she's got 3 different options. So I'll try to link down below to her because I really want to support her. She's a lovely person, and so far her customer service has been really excellent. So I'm quite happy with her. So I won the Silver Stitchers giveaway. I don't know that I've ever shouted her out. I really like her videos. She has a grandchild she talks about that I mean, probably all of you already watch her already. But she has a grandchild she talks about who she calls her person. It's a Grey's Anatomy reference, which is an awfully mature reference for a little child, but you know, we all know what it means, and it's that's very special. Anyway, I mean, I think witnessing my parents' relationship with their only grandchild, I think, I don't know if I'll ever get to be a grandparent. You know, when you only have one child, you don't always get to be a grandparent. But I think that the grandparenting experience is something really special, separate from like parenting. You know, I've witnessed with my parents the joy they get out of being a grandparent, and I hope I get to do that someday. But meanwhile, it really just has touched my heart listening to the Silver Stitcher talk about her person, or her little grandbaby soulmate. Anyway, I won her giveaway, and I've already started working on it. I've said before, when I get something for free, it's like it's impossible. I don't want to make it sound like I get a lot of stuff, because I don't. But when I get something given as a gift, whether it's a giveaway or you know, somebody chose me to give me something, I think it's just about as special to me when I get something as a giveaway as when somebody chooses to give me something in particular. And I think that's because for me, and it's why I do try to do Pass the Stash as frequently as I can. She doesn't know me, but you know, it cost her effort and time and a little bit of money to send me this thing. And even though she doesn't know me and can only hope that I'm going to appreciate her gift, somebody who's doing a giveaway like that, you know, their heart's in a great place. You know, their hope is that they're passing on something that they're either not going to use or no longer using, to somebody who will appreciate it just as much as they did. And so when I get something from a giveaway, I really, like, it's really important to me to appreciate it and make use of it. And sometimes it's difficult to make use of everything, you know. But that's really important to me. If I get something for free and I know that the person who was giving it to me either chose me or simply is hopeful that that the thing that they are giving away is going to go to a loving home and to somebody who will appreciate it. And I really want to express that appreciation, and I really want to make use of that item. I don't want that to go to waste. I don't want it to be like, oh, somebody else should have won that, you know. I want to honor that, the spirit of that. And so I do try to make use of at least a piece of whatever I've been given, you know, as soon as I possibly can. And so what the Silver Stitcher sent to me is she sent me the beads and the patterns and the threads to do Mirabilia's Sleeping Beauty. This is an older but very well-known Mirabilia, and I believe that I don't know if it was Michael's, but you know, back in the day, you could go. I think it's Michael's, where you could go into at least some of these stores, and you could buy like actually pretty nice like kitted up Mirabilias, and I think that's how she got it. It was, you know, I don't know if they came with the fabric. Regardless, she didn't send me the fabric. I'm sure she made great use of the fabric if there was fabric. But it came with the pattern and all the threads, and they appear to be DMC threads, nice threads, and all of the beads. And so, you know, I didn't have fabric, but I having all of the rest of it, the beads and the even the beading needle, the beads and the pattern and the threads all kitted up. I was like, it would be really a shame to not start this. And I realized that even though I didn't want to spend any significant money right now, that thanks to my new fabric dyeing adventures, that I might be able to get started on it anyway. So I took my I went on the RIT Dye website and looked for a color that you know, that appealed to me, and instructions on how to make it, and I followed those instructions, and I didn't get exactly the color that I thought I was going to get, but I am really happy for this is my third attempt at dyeing, and it's the first time that I actually turned out not exactly what I was expecting or looking for, but for the first time I ended up with something I was really happy with, wholeheartedly happy with, that could work for the item I was hoping it would work for. And so I dyed my 32 count. I think it's even weave. I thought it was Belfast, but now that I'm stitching on it, I'm pretty sure this is pretty even. So I'm pretty sure this is even weave fabric, and so I cut a piece to the size I needed. And sorry, apparently I thought I was going to go back to this project when I put it away, and I ended up not. So I dyed my own fabric just from white 32 count even weave, and ended up with a result I was just over the moon thrilled with to use for this project. And I started that project. So this is I worked on I don't know, 5 or 6 days, I think. And this is my start on Sleeping Beauty. So, and that's my fabric. So the tutorial, if you want to try to turn out something like this color, not the tutorial, the instructions I got on the RIT Dye website. I used royal blue, only royal blue, and like, I don't know, a few teaspoons to several cups of, I followed the instructions on the RIT Dye website for a color they were calling Forever Blue. And it didn't really turn out exactly the color I thought it was going to turn out based on what I saw on my phone. But nevertheless, I think this is a great color for that piece. And there's hardly any modeling, which is on purpose. I was not really going for a hand-dyed look. I was you know, being kind of conservative. There's a little bit of modeling, but you know, it's pretty tame and even. And I am just so thrilled. It's really wonderful to be stitching away at something and going, oh, I love this fabric, and realize that you did that, that you made that fabric yourself. Well, I didn't make the fabric, but that you made that color yourself. You know, completely different experience, like emotionally, to like stitching on something like Monet or Ariel or whatever by Picture This Plus, which is also absolutely gorgeous fabric. But you know, it adds a whole other dimension when you're going, oh, I love this fabric, and you're going, yes, and I made it myself. So I encourage everybody to try out dyeing. Yes, although I'm super thrilled with this fabric, I have yet to turn out exactly the expected results. So I think, you know, I think it's important to be willing to you know, not get exactly what you're envisioning. But I think a lot of art is like that. You know, you don't turn out exactly what you see in your mind. You can't reproduce what you see on the screen or whatever. But if you are okay with that, if you're flexible with that, you can end up with something really rewarding. And so, but thank you to the Silver Stitcher for Sleeping Beauty. It's a lovely gift. And even though I know you didn't choose me specifically, that it was just a random drawing, it's really special to me, and I really appreciate it. And I thank you for you know, the spirit of wanting to pass on something, you know, that's just sitting, that you're not going to make use of, to somebody who might really appreciate it, and I do. So thank you very much. And everybody go watch the Silver Stitcher if by some miracle you are not already watching her. So okay, so that is Sleeping Beauty. I worked on 4 other things this month, which is not a lot for a whole month, but you know, I'm pretty dedicated these days. I worked on, I don't know, Sleeping Beauty for 5 or 6 solid days, and I worked on I'm working on some of these projects I'm working on like 9-10 days on them before moving on. So anyway, I just stitch what I want. So here is I've talked before about the magical mystery sals and the lady who does those. I linked to her in a previous video I did. So if I don't get around to linking to her this time, if you go on to my FlossTube number 14 in the comment, you know, the description box, there's a link to this lady's blog. She does these great like short-term mystery sals, and she has a great blog. She gives away a lot of, she makes I mean, I think all her patterns are free. I don't know that all of them are, but she's got a lot of free patterns on her blog. She's a nice lady, and she runs a Facebook group to do these like short-term sals. And Easter Sunday, the weekend of Easter Sunday, I'm not sure exactly when it starts, but the weekend of Easter Sunday, she's doing another one called the Spring Mystery Sal, and it's a little bit more demanding of a stitch, I think, than the previous, like, New Year's Eve one. So she released on March 1st and March 15th, I believe I got those dates right, she released what she's calling the pre-stitch, which basically are the first 2 parts of the sal. And then on the weekend of Easter Sunday, if she does it like she did it last time, basically every 3 hours or something, she'll release a piece of the pattern, and then by the end of the weekend, you'll have, if you keep up, which you don't have to, because the patterns will remain free on her blog, you know, indefinitely. But if you keep up, you know, at the end of the weekend, you will have, you'll have a completed project. So here are the first 2 parts. So I have kept up so far. And this is on my own dyed fabric. And this is fabric I wasn't super thrilled with the results of, but I'm definitely going to use it. You know, I'm happy with how it looks for this project. This is going to be, I'm going to make this into my first biscornu. So I'm finally going to do that. So anyway, I really like that. I am using the variegated I'm using for this like diamond in the middle and the square on the outside. I'm using Antique Lace by Gast, because I'm trying very hard to, as I get these Gast threads, I'm trying to keep them in the back of my mind and use them where I can in either projects like this where I'm choosing my own threads anyway, or in projects where I can, you know, change it up, even though I don't do that a lot. If I can change it up, I will try, because I don't want it to be a waste that I have subscribed to these threads. I'm getting a pile of beautiful threads, and I want to use them. So I'm really trying to do that. Okay. So, what else did I do? Wicked Christmas. So I spent quite a bit of time on Wicked Christmas. And, you know, I keep hearing from people am I the only person who doesn't mind stitching white? There's a lot of white on this, and I mean, it's a little boring when there's a lot of it, but I don't, like, people talk all the time about how white stitches look bad. I just heard somebody say it yesterday on some video I was watching, and I just don't agree. But that's okay. I don't have to agree. I enjoy stitching white. Anyway, let me show you a picture of what the project looked like when last you saw it. And now, here's my progress. So I made pretty respectable progress. If I recall correctly, I did finish the first page, and then some. But I believe I did finish the first page on this. But I'm actually, I'm kind of enjoying those clouds and mountains. I think some of the white is mountains, like snowy mountains, and some of the white is clouds. And I really like the way it looks. Yes, this is 40 count, so, you know, it's much more forgiving. But I don't even mind, I did that ghost pattern with white on 28 count black Jobalon, and I really liked it. I like stitching white. I don't mind. But that's okay, to each his own. There's that one, and I finally got back out my Let Freedom ring. Oh, please tell me I remembered to bring it back here. Oh, crap. Okay. Hang on, let me pause you. All right, I'm back. I finally got out Let Freedom ring. I had started it way back when I first got it, and but I didn't have the specialty fibers for it, and so I got those specialty fibers several months ago thanks to winning Nell's giveaway, where I was able to spend some money on getting them, and then I got them, but I still didn't get it out and work on it. So it finally called to me, and I finally got it out, and I worked on it, and oh, let me show you a picture of what it looked like before, several months ago. You know, looking at this now, I'm like, why did I stop? I don't remember why I stopped. I think I just wanted to work. I think I just really wanted to work to start Sleeping Beauty. I think it was like an itch to start something new. But I'm looking at this now, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I love this. I gotta do more Lila's Studio if I ever finish this monstrosity. This is on 40 count birch too, just like Wicked Christmas. This is also on 40 count, which I think is a wonderful neutral fabric for primitive historical stuff. Oh, and all the words in this are over 1 on 40 count, which is, you know, a chore, but look, doesn't that look great? Independence. That looks great, doesn't it? Oh, I love this. I need to get back to this soon. Taking it out, I'm definitely not burnt out on this one. Her colors are amazing. Yeah, wow. Wow, I just can't get enough of it. I love it. That might have to come out soon. I was kind of thinking, kind of itching to start something else new today, because I have to start everything. But, ooh, that might come out again soon. Okay, and I spent a large chunk of time on Come by the Hills by Ship's Manor. And let me show you a picture of where it was when last you saw it. And I love this. Oh, I love this. And I am nearly halfway done. I have finished winter, and I'm creeping into summer down there in that lower corner. You can see just the beginnings of summer. What's the problem with parking? Down in that lower corner, you can see just the beginnings of summer past that river. And so spring is the second page of this 4-page pattern. Each page is basically a season in a village. And I haven't done any of the backstitch, but the backstitches, there's not a whole heck of a lot of backstitch on this. So this is all spring, this is winter, this is spring, and then that little corner down there marks the beginning of summer, I believe. Doing the using Blitz Stitches diagonal parking method, which is just a joy. Takes a little longer. Like, I know I could do more actual stitches if I was using a more typical, like, cross-country method, particularly on a project like this where there's a lot of blocky colors and stuff. But I get so much pleasure out of watching the project come together by using Blitz Stitches method. And I find it so relaxing because I rarely make mistakes. And I just the way it all comes together is addictive. And even though it takes a little longer, it's really worth it. And I'm definitely going to be like trying to do anytime I have a project that I think Blitz Stitches method is really appropriate for. I will definitely be using it because it's just a joy to stitch that way. So if you think parking isn't for you, or you like parking but maybe don't like some of the issues with parking, you might consider Blitz Stitches method, because I am not a parker. I couldn't stand parking until I discovered Blitz Stitches method of parking, which is just different enough. In my opinion, it has a lot of the advantages of parking without as many of the drawbacks. And there's still some like thread wastage and stuff like that. So there's still some things that are not as good as is with like other methods like cross country. But the trade-offs are worth it. I really like his method. So Blitz Stitch, check him out if you have not already. And I think that's it. So not a super long video today, but part of that is because I didn't have to get all ranty because somebody else did it for me. Just go watch the Stitch All the Things video number 8, and she's saying all the things I want to say, but maybe a little nicer than I would say them. So anyway, I will see you all later. Hopefully just a couple of weeks from now, when you see me next, I should have the Magical Mysteries Spring Sal finished, because that is next weekend that is happening. So I should have my 5th itty bitty finish for the year when you see me next. All right, bye all. Talk to you later.
After Stitch with Anton. Hi, I'm Christine's husband, and oh, it has been a busy day. I've been set building. My son is in a play at the high school, Willy Wonka, and I'm building a glass elevator, and it's coming along pretty good. I still have to figure out how to get it out of the room and get it to the high school. It comes apart, so I think that's going to work. All this play stuff, it makes me want to do a play. Like, oh, maybe a one-man show. Yeah. No, maybe not. Anyway, why am I dressed like this? Well, it is also car repair day, and I have a small repair that I need to do on the car, and it's not going to take too long, so I'm going to go out and do it. Wish me luck. All right, bye. This just popped off. I don't even know where it goes. And I couldn't get this back on. So, enough of that. Screw it. It's snowing. And, you know, Gino has a good bus system, right? So, it's probably easier than fixing cars. Anyway. Oh. What's this? Oh, it's a new project. Look. It's pretty. Oh, yeah. I like it. Uh-oh. How do you get grease out of one of these?